So, who are we missing? Liang and Sophia, you're at orchestra recording your concert.
No, wait.
Hopefully, you have a great time and play wonderfully, and then you have tonight off, so there you go.
You get tonight off to do this lesson.
So, HCF means 100 cubic feet, right? So, billing for like gas or water, things like that, is done by volume, right? How much volume do you use? So, Mr. Billings has high water bills right now. He wants to learn how to reduce it. So, here's the tiers of what you get billed.
So, it's kind of like a step function, but you can't do like everything.
The last time you said we needed to learn how to do something, you asked us a question that you didn't answer.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we hadn't done this. Yeah.
But are we going to have to go back and do
Sure. We probably should.
Hey, this will be so much fun.
This isn't that bad, seriously.
It isn't.
What is the equation of our...
Oh, do we have to do 3 equations, one for each like cell?
Yeah.
Because they go, because you can't have one equation for all 3.
Yep.
Well,
So,
you can, but
this
that's-
line goes from 0, 0 to 22. What is its slope? Well, it would also have 10.
10 miles.
I would suggest not
I mean,
to do arrow because
1 mile every 10 minutes, so the slope is like 10. 110.
Not what I meant to do.
I'm just saying.
Why not the arrow?
Because,
Yeah.
you normally put an arrow, it's
For parallels? Well, no, not if I don't put another arrow on something else. But you are right. Might as well avoid that. So, wait, the run is 10 when the rise is 1. It's 1/10.
Oh, it's
Right.
We're right.
So our f of x here, we could say y equals 1/10 x, no constant, right? When x is...
0 to
greater.
greater.
It's greater than 0, but less than or
Greater than 0, less than 20.
that grouped that. Yeah, between 0 and 20.
So would you do
None
like
of them
greater or equal to 0 and then less than 20? Right?
You decide which function you want to have the 20, but 2 of them cannot both have the
So
20.
then the green one will just say it's it has to be more than
Where is y on the green line? What is the y value? 2. Right, so y equals 2 when x is from
less,
20 if we don't include
less.
it. Crap.
I would.
I said it and then just still wrote it wrong.
You just deleted everything.
I
Try 3 times and fail all 3 times.
And
So
then,
is life.
and then equal to 30? Because, or do we want to do equal to 30?
Yeah, we'll say she starts her run back on minute 30, so we won't include it here.
Wow, so punctual.
Then, this is the tougher one. This line. Because we might know the slope of it, but that doesn't tell us the whole equation. So with this white line,
We know the intercept is 0 for the other one, but now we have to find the
we know we go from 32 to 54.0, right?
So we could do this slope thing.
So that would be an x of 24, a y of -2. So m is going to be -24 over 2.
And then you do like
So hold on, let's simplify that. M is -12, right?
yeah, and then can't you just put it on, the y equals mx plus b? Couldn't you just like put in the m and a point of the
Ooh.
line and find the percent?
So if we set up a y equals mx plus b, but
So we have to use a point on the line.
yeah, we got to use a point on the line. It's easier if we use a point with 0.
So 54 0.
So if we use 54.0,
Should I do for like later?
54 times 10, 540 times 2, another 108, so 648.
Look at that. He did that like in 2 seconds.
I
and then plus B, so it'd be 648 equals B. Right?
There you go.
That's a
So plus 648, which seems a little crazy, but the steep is pretty steep, or the slope is pretty steep, right? Yes, the steep is pretty steep.
And then couldn't you do like be a little what's semicolon? And then you do the domain thing, which I don't remember what it is because it was up there.
30, because we used it, and then we ended
Oh, and
at
then X
54, right?
So, and then X is like what? It's gonna equal to?
Sure. Yeah.
Look at that. We're done.
So we used the 20 here and not here. We didn't use the 30 here. We did use it here. And then the 54 is just on the end. It doesn't.
So the problem is, what if, like, say there were more? You just have to keep going, and there's no easy solution.
Yeah, that's why I say piecewise.
If you had like this written out, could you just simplify it as like f of x equals like c of x plus b of x plus like g of x? But you still.
Oh yeah, you can just make it 3 different functions. Yeah, instead of y equals.
So
Yeah.
so then you can write it out easier and see.
You can use any notation you want. Y equals or something of x or something of t. Because here we're really talking t. You could do like f of t, g of t, h of t, or whatever. Does that make sense? So we just literally write out the 3 different functions based off what they are. So this problem would do the same thing then. And we don't necessarily have to go through this problem. But this problem would change your steepness, right, your slope, based off how much you use. So if we look at the bill, and this is kind of an interesting way to break this down, and we compare the prices, the more you use, the more you're asked to pay for each HCF, not starting at 0. So for your first 8 HCFs, you are billed $364.
So if you went over let's say if you went over 36, then you want to bill as much as you need because they're not going to change the billing. But if you're in between, then you want to bill as much up to it, but not over.
So if the base fee, which guys, base fees suck. I use almost no electricity at my house because my stove is gas, my hot water heater is gas, my furnace is gas. Lighting is the only thing we use electricity for, and our oven. But to have electricity service, you got to pay the base fee. So this function for what their bill is, let's say bill in terms of 100 cubic feet, so terms of V, I guess. Wait, for volume.
If it's, are you saying that this is electric?
So on your, no, this is water. But yeah, but I'm just referencing my water. Well, we use water. We use more water than we do electricity because we use water for everything. But electricity, most of my house is gas because we now even have gas cooking. That's the thing. And electric hot water heaters are inefficient unless they're instant hot water heaters. Then they're more efficient. But on your paper, write down B of V. Bill based on the input of volume. So our what do we want to call the first, say the lowest volume, I guess, L of V. L of V, my lowest volume. I'm automatically gonna pay $37.78 plus how much per HCF.
Well,
for the lowest billing section. 364. V, right, for volume, based off however many volume, 100 cubic feet.
So that's like $40.
But that, I'm going to erase this and shift this all over. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
Life is so expensive.
Ha 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 ha. Not if you're the one getting the money.
Because I don't have space. But that is only when my V, right, my volume is between 0 and 8. Now, it includes 8 Because over here, before we drug this said over 8. Right? So over 8 is not going to include 8. Low, let's say medium, high, and extreme.
Whoa, there's an extreme.
Over the
Yeah,
top.
literally, you get, and you can ask your parents about this, you get a mailer from energy companies, electric, gas, water, whatever, utility companies, that show you how you compare to other houses. Now, when I get that mailer now, it thinks my furnace has a problem. Because when I installed our gas stove, I hijacked the gas line off the furnace and ran it to the stove. So my bill thinks my furnace is using all the gas that the furnace does use and that we cook with.
Oh.
Because they don't know that we have gas cooking. It doesn't matter, but they don't really know. Like, the company doesn't know. So we get our electric bill. Our electric bill is like nothing. And our gas bill is like, hey, you used 100 cubic feet. Which is because when you turn on gas to cook, it just uses gas, right? Like, it uses gas to cook. So, but they will tell you if you are in like an extreme category that your usage is way too high. Sometimes that means you have like a leak, right? If a gas line has a leak, that's really dangerous. So I want you guys to try, I see your hand, but I want you to try to fill in what these other piecewise pieces would be.
So, like, if you use, like, 37 HCF, would, like, the first 8 be
Yes.
364 cents?
The first 8, you get charged
I didn't know if
364.
they'd all be.
No, that's the right question to ask. Because think about how the graph of this is going to look.
So
Right? If we...
So then it would, like, be the steps instead of, like...
So my line, let's skew this, let's lightning bolt this, and say this is 37.78, or whatever that base fee was. So my 0 to 8, 0 to 8, not very steep. My next section will get steeper. My next section will get steeper. My next section will get steeper. So these points are those break points in the piecewise.
I was just wondering if it, yeah.
Wait, but
like,
if
like,
this didn't happen and you used 9 cubic,
then
like, think about it. Your line would start at the same place, but then have to be like this. It wouldn't make sense. Like, it'd be too hard to draw. And then it wouldn't be a function.
A smart thing to do with this is to, like, so, wait, can you go back?
oh yeah. Should we just
Like, it says there that, like 8 to 24, so, like, use right under, like, 4, and you, like, get the most without your price going higher, right? Never mind. It was just
No,
like,
because it's per one.
So wait, hold on.
It's like per.
You guys are kind of messing up my plan. I'll just tell you what my plan was. My plan was for us to solve this through with the graph being nice and connected, that at those points, like I just showed us, we get steeper and we transition getting steeper. However, when we go to build that, we would have made a mistake, quote unquote. And that mistake would have been when we go to try to take what we wrote over here and put it on the graph. If this is the steepness of my line for 8 to whatever, my y-intercept is now not what it's supposed to be. So if the gas company says, I will charge you this much for the first 8, but then your price changes, that second function has a different y-intercept. So that messes this up. It would, if we're writing out the function, it would.
oh,
Because we're trying to write out this function.
Real
So,
life doesn't like man.
What's
the point
actually
of
happening
writing
here?
Like this if it doesn't apply in real life.
So when this fell apart, right? I'm skipping over the us tripping and figuring out that this is messed up. When this fell apart, we were then gonna say, oh, what actually makes sense is this graph does jump, right?
Hudson is 4 parallel
This visual doesn't make sense.
So I kind of ruined your plan.
You kind of ruined my
Hudson
plan.
can see the future and see the mistakes we're about to do. and
I've
he's
taught
like,
this class before.
He's like, I know what's going to happen.
So what would actually happen here is there, you said, like, there's like a jump, right? This fills in the point at 8. Oh, that's an eraser. and then there's some jump up to here, and then the line is slightly steeper, right? And then it fills in this point. So the question is, are we able to just, could we then use the same, like my medium, my middle, can we use 3778 and then just add a different slope for 0.4 or 4.08 V and restrict that this is 8 less than V less than or equal
I
to...
wouldn't think so because the first 8 would be.
Grab your graphing calculator. Go to Y equals. What? Oh, okay, but we'll finish your sentence. And your graphing calculator, type in 37.78 plus 3.64x.
Okay, wait. So I'm just a little side note question.
Yes.
So on this button it says like 3 different symbols. So that's supposed to be like.
Yeah, we use various inputs depending on what we're doing. In this menu, it knows the input you're using is X. In a different menu of the calculator, it would plug in T or theta or the variable that you're using based off that situation.
It would just like automatically know which one.
I mean, you can put in whatever you want, but you have to go through the calculator. There's no like hit second or hit alpha to get T or get. Yeah, it just looks weird. The question I want you to struggle with for a moment is how do we type in the piecewise restriction? Is there a way?
Yeah, you told us there was a button where it was like feeling or like I don't know.
I'm looking at the math button, maybe. Wait, it says piecewise.
Go where?
Piecewise B in the math button. Ha.
Wait, what?
And it says pieces, and then it says 3. And I'm confused.
Where are you at? Are you in math?
I clicked the math button, and the first section, I went down to B, and it says piecewise. And I
To
clicked
B?
it. Yeah, because it goes 1.
My B says numeric solver.
Well, that's your calculator. Oh, because I have
The one
piecewise,
above it says piecewise. So just go find your piecewise. It works first.
and then it says
And it says pieces.
and so then I click.
Does it
OK.
actually have
Yeah, see, it says base piecewise. And then it
In
has
the math menu?
Yeah.
Why is my math menu different than yours?
Oh wait, hold on. Piecewise.
I seriously don't have my
Either.
piecewise here.
It
I don't
just-
know why, but I seriously, this
Did I
calculator
ask
doesn't
you
have
in
it.
your
Calculator knows that you're smart enough to do it without a piecewise.
Maybe I need to be-
Did I outsmart you in your calculator?
Go into mode. There's a setting messed up in our mode.
Wait, can I not use this? Or?
That's exactly what we're looking for. I don't know why mine is missing it.
It's okay. You can say
Remember, your math menu is your everything.
I'm kind of just like messing up all
Mr.
the plans.
Hudson, that calculator is probably just like a generation behind.
Dude, you're using the same.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
different colors.
I'm resetting the RAM on this calculator to see if that helps.
I kind of just like foiled all of your plans.
Foiled all your evil plans. How you thought it was
Because the
great.
first
Alright,
thing
now I
you
gotta
do-
consult Google.
Like, there's probably a meme out there, like, with Mr. Hudson trying to trick a child who's us, and then us stepping over his foot. Like,
So it's not in my mouth either.
don't worry. See, it's the purple one. They're cursed.
Just get a pink one.
There's no more
Hello
pink.
everyone, this is going to be a quick.
Okay,
So go to y
yeah.
equals to enter a function,
You're not-
and then to enter a piecewise function, press math.
Oh,
Press
well,
the up
Hudson
arrow key,
getting invited.
and you'll see that the option B is called piecewise.
Ha.
So let's just press enter to select it, and it will ask us how many pieces we have.
Oh,
So in this
Where
example,
did it
we have
go?
3 pieces, 1, 2, 3.
Hold on, he's on normal, float, auto, real, radian, MP.
That's what we're on.
No, instead of real, I'm on A plus BI.
You're in imaginary form, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
still.
in decrease. If that makes any difference.
You know what, Mr.
So we'll just select 3 pieces, and you can select.
What if
the
it doesn't
pieces that
exist?
are
Well, then, that
So let's press the
calculator.
down key, and select
If
the
it's
pieces.
not,
It will give us a template here with 3 pieces. So for the
Okay,
first
wait.
one, we just have
we
X.
got 4
So press
pieces,
the-
right? The low, medium, high.
What if piecewise?
Mr. Hudson going to Google out of desperation. Isn't there a manual for the
I don't
calculator?
know.
Mr. Hudson being like, I've taught this class for many years.
Well, normally the menu is there.
Was it here last
Press
year?
alpha. Like,
This class is pretty good.
Mr. Hudson being like, I'm for parallel universes instead of using calculator issues. Stump him and be like,
I'm so confused about me.
all right. Well, might as well deal with what if you have a calculator that isn't doing this. So seriously, like this is might as well try it. If you hit alpha, y equals.
holy crap.
So like F1.
Wait, no, it still has.
What? Oh, that's so you can put it in the thing. But I'm just gonna do. Ha! I did my own way. So alpha.
So then our first function would be 37.78 plus 3.64x.
I don't.
In the denominator,
Oops. I'm quitting.
Oh no.
Okay,
Twitter's never win. Oh, abs.
Oh, did you hear a whole Spanish conversation?
No, I was listening to music.
Oh.
well, those of you that have it in your menu, go ahead and type it in
Okay, well.
correctly.
Should I just go ahead and type in the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go to math,
Go to the math button.
and then you go find a thing.
Have you found your less than or greater than symbols?
Enter,
And then 4.
click
So,
4.
okay.
Okay.
And then you can just put that in.
Whoa.
Have you found your less than or greater than symbols?
It's probably in the math button somewhere. A lot of things are in the math button, but I haven't gotten there yet, so I'll find them eventually.
Now there is an alternative way
I don't like alternative ways.
that I want to test before I tell you guys about it. Athena, I'll show you the other way.
Whoa, wait, whoa. Oh, right, because you just.
Why do we need exclamation points? I'm just wondering because
To make the calculator realize.
See what you guys are doing.
is there a reason for exclamation points?
Have you found it yet, Sammy?
Oh shoot.
I'm looking.
What'd I do?
I know how to put data in here.
It's
All the
gone.
letters.
It's gone.
I know how to put.
Wait, where did you get 68 from?
You can't even find it in the prompts.
Go back for a second. You put in 68. Where's the 68 from?
It's the equation.
I know 64. Wait, was it 68 or 64?
3.68. You mind going back? Oh, 64. I'm
Boom.
wrong.
I feel so validated for no reason.
You're always making those things.
Wait, how do you get that symbol?
What symbol?
That
X.
dot. No, the dot and then the thing. This thing right here.
That one?
Yeah.
The you know, go over there. It's already there. You just.
Whoa, that was magical.
It's the
Where
semicolon.
Why do you have a 0?
Because it's 0, and then I'm trying to find the
Oh la la.
Well, this would be great if our settings were how they're supposed to be, but I'm not quite sure why.
Were they like this last year?
Right.
No, but we have a couple new calculators.
Boom. We are the
I got
new parallel
applications.
universe.
Wait, what's periodic?
Puzzle.
Oh my gosh, there's an equation
Periodic
solver in here.
table. What?
Yes, hydrogen of helium.
I found a periodic table. America.
David, you're definitely not helping my stress level right now, as this isn't panning out how I wanted it to. In case you were looking for those symbols, if you hit second 0, hit second 0. That takes you into the catalog.
Wait, second 0?
Uh-huh.
Auto answer? Whoa.
I kind of went on a tangent and saw the periodic tables and.
I just want to say that if auto answer is what it sounds like.
Cheese. Wait, do you? I have a weird program that's crossed out. Do you?
We have circle, classic, clear entries, knock, clock
Steven,
on. Yeah, I don't know why.
it's probably a program that I made that I like
Cross,
actually.
negative. Wait, it should be here somewhere then. Day 0 W F W K DVD deck answer. Whoa. I wonder if it goes to D.
You got my line, but I can't get it to do the domain restriction.
Are these like all the different things on your calculator?
Yes, catalog shows you everything.
Oh.
So if you're looking for less than or greater than or any of those things.
It's me.
Wait, can you like?
Oh, I have another idea. Hold on.
There's a get date button in here. Get time. Get key.
Yeah, you can set the time on your calculator and everything
Whoa.
else.
Wouldn't that just waste the battery?
Is there an easier way to go through things, or is it just clicking until you get it?
Map print.
You can search by letter. So if you're in the catalog menu, okay, this is worth showing since we're all struggling. Well, not all struggling, but since we're having some collective struggles.
Oh, do you do alpha and then the letter?
Yeah, alpha, then the letter you're searching for, you want to jump to.
Alpha letter. Ooh, thank you. Even though I kind of.
Oh,
Did you find it enough?
no.
Okay.
Does it only work for the first one?
Let's try this calculator. Does this calculator have it?
Whatever.
Because it's also purple, so according to the pattern, it shouldn't have it, should it?
So, if I'm looking for a.
This one also does not have piecewise.
I know, I don't know what's going on.
So if I were looking for the greater than symbol, how would I?
It's
search
at the bottom of this menu. So you just have to go up.
What? Wait, type it.
Second 0
Oh,
takes you to
This
catalog.
question mark, pi.
Oh, I found
these
it.
things.
Look at all of
Oh.
these little numbers.
Cool. I like catalog. It's my favorite. I can put a box.
Wait, where is it? Hold on, I'm looking.
It's
I
a.
found it. So which
Wait,
one?
can you move that so I can see the equation? Or never mind. I have the equation. Oh no! I wasn't in the right spot, so it didn't.
That's sort of sad though.
Wait, how do you insert something again? How do you insert something again?
Second delete.
Second delete. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Look at this, Sammy, I did it. Is there a manual for these calculators? There's an insured article. Anyway, next one.
Oh no, I messed up.
You deleted everything now.
Yep.
Dummy. Away there. Wait, what?
Dummies. Why would they call it that?
Well, I mean, because people look for answers on here, so dummies, you know, because they don't know the answer. I think.
Okay.
So this is the other way.
But what's the
Work.
Calculator.
So the other way, I'm guessing, is you go to catalog and you find piecewise.
It's not in catalog.
It's not in here.
Oh. So what you do is you go to the catalog, get the bracket thing, and then you get the little semicolon, right? You just make your own piecewise function, right?
Why can't I?
Yes, there is a way, but there's
You
a
want
better
to
way.
find the button that will like
dot.
What is that?
I messed. Oh. Okay.
You messed up your life.
Wait.
You messed up your life.
Huh? Yeah, I messed up.
Holy crap! Did I mess up?
Wait. What? Wait a second.
I think it's the whole dot mode thing.
Can you stop, please? Wait.
Seriously, dude. All right, what menu are we going into
I
first?
don't know
Math.
if I'm doing this right, but
Balls. Sorry. That's the issue.
What?
Dot mode.
Where's that?
It's in mode, but I'm not even quite sure to tell you definitively. If you ever grow up to be a teacher, test what you're going to do before the class shows up. All right, we're now in dot mode. Hold on. Hold your horses. Dang it!
I want to like go back to watch this video just to hear him exist and go.
I have much more of that in other videos. Sequential reel. Yeah, full normal float radian function.
wait. So why are we doing this to begin with?
Yeah,
I wanted to teach you guys how to do it in your calculator, but now it's broken.
what if we only use this calculator and Sammy's calculator and just...
And it probably works on Leanne's and Sophia's too.
Yeah.
Alright, so here is, if you can't find piecewise, this is how we used to teach it before the calculators had all these different functions. This is actually how we write it in.
Oh my god.
So it's what I was saying about how you have to write it in.
So if we do the first piece in parentheses,
I'm just glad I have my calculator and I'm gonna.
and then parentheses, 0 is less than x is less than 8, parentheses, then we hit plus our next function,
Okay. But I'm gonna see.
Wait, what?
I can do. I'm gonna
4.08 for the second one.
Oh wait, I can't find it.
I'm trying something real quick because I'm bored.
I'll just wait.
Why is there an exclamation point?
Oh, that's called factorial. We will use that a lot, that's why.
Really?
Yes.
Never mind, I can't do it because it's being done. I'm glad my calculator's nice.
I'm glad I chose the calculator.
It's okay.
We'll do more with this next week.
Don't worry, you can figure it out.
Alright, well none of that was even what we were supposed to be doing today. I just wanted to show you guys how to use your calculator to do this. Yeah.
Oops.
Don't worry, combining functions is easy.
Wait, should we not have put all that
No,
in the
that's
calculator?
We're going to come back to it though. Leave that stuff. Don't clear that stuff. Leave it in there. I'm going to play with these over the weekend and or tonight and try to figure out what the heck is going on and why I can't do this. But my bad. I've wasted enough of your guys' time today. So, combining functions. So if you tell Sophia and or Liang about the lesson, you should tell them skip to 34 minutes. And
Yeah.
No, talk about the
Yeah.
31st.
I get frustrated. Yes, that happens.
It's like you're surprised teaching.
But what did balls mean? Was
I
there...
just, it's what I use instead of like a swear word.
Oh!
I can look over.
Like Goldbergs? Okay.
It's a show called The Goldberg.
Oh, I know. I watched it.
That's what you got.
Oh, yeah. That's probably where I stole it from. When Adam Goldberg, like when something bad happens, he's always like, balls. Alright. I like that show. It's fun. It reminds me of the 80s. Which, you know, I wasn't alive during, but hey. Well, I was. I was born in the 80s. So, if C of x is 3, and that's a pen,
You were alive, but you didn't remember it.
you are correct. If C of x is 3, f of x is x squared, and g of x is 2x plus 1. This is what relates to my setup yesterday from the whole Mars rover thing. Excuse me, if we were asked to combine functions f of x and c of x to make a of x, first through addition. Well, are there common factors or common like terms between c of x and f of x?
Well,
No. X squared and 3 can't be added together. So the sum of those functions, the new a of x,
Would it just be x squared plus 3?
is x squared plus 3.
wow.
Wait.
This is also why I was trying to do that calculator stuff first. I think you'll be able to grasp this very quickly.
So if it was like 2x, so if it was g plus.
Hold on, let's stop playing the what ifs for a
So if
moment.
it was that,
Just let us get through more than one problem before we play the what if game.
that'd be 3x squared.
So then the multiplication of the functions would be x squared times 3, like x squared function times 3 function. It's just 3x squared.
And because there are no like terms for c, that means
So
that
it's-
it'd be x squared minus 3 for that one.
Ooh, g of x
Ooh.
minus
So it'd be like
c of
2x
x.
minus 2.
Ooh,
2x minus
2x minus 2.
So it's basically like you just substituted like.
And then
No,
that
well, not really substitute, but just put them together and do the math it's asking.
would that
Okay, yeah, so if you're saying sub this in here and sub this part in here, yes, then yes, it's just like
So would the
substitution.
last one be 6x plus 3 because of
Yes, because that would distribute,
Yeah.
and this would be 6x plus 3.
wow.
So now, try that with f of x being x squared, h of x being 1/2 x plus 1. I believe this is on the resource packet page that I had you get out at the beginning of class.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Do you want us to like fill in the
Yeah.
chart?
No.
Test your skills. Fill in that table.
Tested my calculator skills.
Well, but first you need to write out what is j of x, what is k of x, what is p of x.
9.
I can't just use my brain.
No, you cannot.
And I have to like go a bunch to find
What
out.
the heck?
Oh no, the resource page isn't here. I need to get the resource page.
No, it's 3 times.
So, for f of x minus h of x, would you make the 1 negative or just leave it?
Everything that comes after the minus is being subtracted or having the opposite applied to it.
Okay,
So that's my way to answer without answering. You figure out what to do with it if that is the definitive rule. How do they know if they got what you got if they don't know what you got?
What did I get? Wait, I know what I got, but how did you get?
For which one?
David. Why do you
Holy
have
crap!
answers?
Darn it! Hold on, I didn't. Never mind. No wait. Okay, so I put them in the wrong. No, I'm fine.
So we're only working with f of x and h of x, right? F of x is x squared, h of x is 1/2 x plus 1. We're going to go from -3 to +3. So when we combine f of x and h of x for j of x, this column will be right. Because there's no like terms to add together.
Well,
F of x plus h of x, which is just both of them.
so. Oh, never mind. I thought that was the -1. I was gonna say, what happened to the
F of x minus h of x is x squared minus the entire function after it.
So it'd be x squared minus 1/2 x minus 1.
Wait,
because everything after the subtraction gets that applied to it.
That's why I asked.
That's the trap door. You don't need to apologize. You just need to do it right next time. Oh, you don't need to apologize. Just do it right next time. So then the multiplication of them is going to be 1/2 x cubed.
And then plus x squared, because 1 times x squared is right?
Well, it was what f of x was x squared times 1/2 x plus 1.
So much smarter with
1/2
the
x cubed.
Sophia on here.
You're the next one from the list, Sammy.
Pretty sure you were at the top of that list. You're right up there.
Right up there.
What we should hopefully see is if you individually calculate the value of this, like 9, and individually calculate the value of this, negative 1/2 plus 1 is negative 0.5, and then you calculate this, it should be the same thing as the sum of the two individually.
So I think I accidentally did something wrong, and
Careful, remember if you square things in your calculator, the negative has to be in
no,
parentheses.
that's not what I'm saying. I went to the table, and I think I did something wrong, and now whenever I go to the table,
I was about to say,
it says
that was
error.
Well, hit go to, and it will normally take you to whatever your issue is. Or your issue is you have an incomplete piecewise.
Well, that's because you didn't want me to.
Well, turn it off then.
I didn't. You
Just go over, highlight the equals, and turn it off. Highlight the equals, hit enter. Now it's off. We did that the other day when I told you guys don't delete
I
things.
forgot about that.
Alright, this is where we'll pick up tomorrow. And fill in Sophia and Liang. And yeah, we will. Essentially, you can tell them they missed nothing.
Yeah.
They missed me trying to avoid saying bad words and fighting with the calculator.
But they just missed us, like, not talking.
Hey,